Continue working on your project. You can also use the file named groundpoint03.dwg that you downloaded for this tutorial. With the alignment and profile in place, all that's left is to build an assembly. An assembly is a cross-section of the road you are designing, where you specify shoulders, lanes, and sidewalks, among other components. The creation of an assembly is pretty straightforward, a bit like Lego work. In fact, you're going to need two assemblies, one for the bridge ends, where you're still on land, and another for the part that is actually over the water. More on that in a moment. From the Home tab, choose Assembly, Create Assembly. Name the assembly Assembly Bridge Ends and click OK. Click a point under the profile view. Civil 3D automatically zooms in on the assembly node. Now open the Tools palette. It's that little icon to the left of the Home tab. From there, you can choose various components to build the cross-section of your choice. Start with the Basic palette. Most of the components you need are there. The assembly node that you see represents the middle of the cross-section. That's like a center line in a two-way street. You'll start with a small shoulder to ensure a small separation between opposing traffic. You'll also work on one side and ultimately mirror the components to the other side. Choose the basic shoulder component. In the Properties dialog, verify the default is set to the right side and that the width is 0.9 meters. Set the slope to -1% and then click the assembly node. A new shoulder component is created to the right of the node. Next, you create a lane. Select the basic lane component from the Basic palette. Make sure the defaults are set to right, with a width of 3.6 meters and a slope of -2%. Click the top right corner of the shoulder you created earlier. A new lane component is created. Add another, as you need 2 lanes for each traffic direction. Next, add another shoulder, but make it a bit wider. Set it to 1.8 meters wide, with a -2% slope. Next, choose the basic curb and gutter component. Keep the default values and connect it to the shoulder. Scroll down the Basic palette and add a basic sidewalk to the mix. Again, use the default values. You're almost done, but you still need a component named Daylight. A daylight in this context is a projected slope from the bridge design to the target surface underneath. It works in either cut and fill situations. In this case, since the design is higher than the surface, the daylight component creates fills to join the road edges to the ground. Go to the Daylight palette and add a Daylight General component connected to the top right corner of the sidewalk. Right-click to exit the command when done. To create the left side components, you can insert them one at a time as you just did, or better yet, you can mirror the ones you already placed. Using a crossing selection window, right to left, select all the components except the original node. Right-click and choose Mirror. There's an important distinction to be made here, in that the Mirror tool seen in this pop-up menu is specific for sub-assemblies. This is the one you want to use here. Do not try using the regular AutoCAD-based mirror function. You now have an assembly, which means you can actually create your corridor. However, the assembly you created has daylight components defined. As mentioned, these are used to create cut and fill situations with the underlying surface. This works well for the bridge end parts where the road is still over land. For the middle region of the bridge, where the bridge is in fact over the water, you need a different assembly, one without daylights. And so, you will duplicate the existing assembly by copying all the components except the daylight subcomponents. The new assembly will be used for the middle part of the bridge. First, start by creating a new assembly node as you did earlier. Name it Assembly Bridge Over Water. Place its node underneath the previous one. Now select all the components to the right of the first assembly except for the daylight part. Also make sure the original node is not part of the selection. Right-click and choose Copy To, and then click the new assembly node. You now have duplicates of the sub-assemblies you need. Select the duplicates and mirror them to the other side as you did before. Zoom back a bit and notice how much smaller these assemblies are in the greater project scale. Many Civil 3D users create a sphere or a rectangle around assemblies to be able to pinpoint them when zoomed out of the project. If you want to do that, simply use the Circle command, C on the keyboard, to draw a circle around your assemblies. Dismiss the Tools palette and save your file. In the next movie, you create a corridor.